Let's see what you guys have to ask me instead of me asking you. What? What is up, Finn fans? You can tell by the title, I've been talking about doing this video for a while. I went on Twitter and I went on the community section here and essentially was like, hey, you guys want me to do a Q&A video? I haven't done one of those in probably over a year. I think the last time I did a Q&A video was in my last apartment. You guys overwhelmingly were like, yeah, do a Q&A video. So this is it. But before we jump into the Q&A video, there was some news that broke yesterday. Well, not broke, but there were some updates to the roster moves yesterday. So essentially yesterday, the Miami Dolphins did sign a wide receiver. And it was Ricardo Lewis. Flashback to Friday Doug. I'm predicting that the Miami Dolphins are going to bring back Ricardo Lewis, and he's going to be one of the wide receivers that the Dolphins are going to bring back. Yep, called it. Had a feeling they were going to bring Ricardo Lewis back because this is now the third time that they've brought him back on the team after waiving him or cutting him. Dolphins like Ricardo Lewis, but they feel probably like the other people on the roster are a little bit higher up on talent-wise. But I think you give Ricardo Lewis a chance, and he will do some good things. The other things that happened is they placed defensive tackle Ray Smith on the reserve list, but they took off Raekwon Davis, Benito Jones, Solomon Kinley, and Kirk Merritt. 4 players came off the list. So that easily, right? They put them on the list on Friday. The next day, Saturday, they were off the list. There is still one person that is still on the list, and that's Eric Flowers. He's been on there for a while. I don't know why. They're legally not allowed to tell us why unless the person comes out and says why. So if he comes out and says, this is why I've been on the list for so long, then the Dolphins can make a statement. But from what I'm hearing, they can't say anything. But he's been on there for a minute, so hopefully Eric Flowers is all right. But like I said, Ray Smith put on the list, and Raekwon Davis, Benito Jones, Solomon Kinley, Kirk Merritt comes off the list, and the Dolphins bring back Ricardo Lewis. Like I said, I kind of saw that coming. So let's jump into this Q&A. So I had 47 comments to go through. Doesn't seem like a lot, but for a video that I don't want to be 4 hours long, it was a lot. I had to go through 47 comments. I'm going to try to get to as many 47 questions and comments that you guys asked me. I don't know if I will, but let's hurry up and jump into it. This one comes from Josh Fernandez, and he says, after years of pain, is it time that we're actually good again? Yes, I honestly think so. I think that the biggest thing that was holding this team back wasn't talent, because there was a few years that we had talent. It was the coaching. And I think with Brian Flores as our head coach, I think we have the right person in place to lead this team. And I do think that the Miami Dolphins will be good in the years to come. This one comes from Doug's dad. Did you change your name because I told you that I'm having a baby girl? Because if so, that's hilarious. He says, will you dye your hair if we win the Super Bowl? If we win the Super Bowl, I will... I don't know what I'll do. I'll dye my hair. Sure, I'll bleach it. I'll go blonde if the Dolphins win the Super Bowl this year. Man, I can't wait to be blonde. So it comes from Dominic, and Dominic says, what role do you see Josh Rosen playing, possibly taking on this team? I honestly think that Josh Rosen will have a fair shot at becoming the starter for the Miami Dolphins this year. Will it happen? I don't know. I will say that we've heard a lot of, players and coaches talk, and they don't really talk about him much. Could that be because the media doesn't ask questions about him much? Probably. I would say that's most likely the reason. But say he doesn't become the starter, he is a very good, viable backup, and he's very cheap. So regardless, I see him staying on the team until his contract's up, and then after that, I have no idea. But I do say this. And don't get upset with me, people who like Josh Rosen. If a team does offer the Miami Dolphins a nice draft pick, say a second-round draft pick, I see him getting traded. But it would take about a second round to trade him because the Dolphins already brushed off offers. Let's jump over to Twitter and answer a Twitter question. This one comes from Dan. He says, I spent 15 minutes trying to think of what to ask you, but you provide answers to every question as a Finn fan would ever want to know already. And you seem to be relatively open book on your life as well. So I guess I have only one question. Why are you so awesome? Dan, I'm not awesome. And I do appreciate that. Thank you. That's all I really got. I really do appreciate that. And yeah. One comes from Mike. He says, I'm still a little surprised by pick 3 of the draft, Noah Igbenogany. But as shown recently, Brian Flores seems to like cornerbacks. Can you put a finger on why the massing of defensive backs? I honestly think that the style and the scheme of defense he's going to run is probably going to be Not necessarily defensive back heavy, but I think you'll see probably a lot of base sets with 3 defensive backs on the field. And we've seen injuries hit teams in different areas and different positions, and it will completely hinder your season because your star player or players start to go down and you have no one really come in and take over. Miami Dolphins were always very bad at having depth. I think now he is, like you said, he's never have too many good corners because it's a very pass-heavy league. And you got a lot of fast quarterbacks. So I think that's the reason. So it goes to Big Dog, and he says, Marvel or DC? Favorite superhero when you were a kid versus now as an adult? Or what crossover would you like to see the most? Well, I don't know if you guys can see it. I got a Batman. Huge DC fan. I'm not knocking Marvel. Marvel's movies are very entertaining. Their comics are also very good, but I'm a huge DC fan. Grew up watching the 1989 Batman movie. Watched it over and over and over again. Love DC. Kid as a adult, still love Batman. So that's the thing. And what crossover would you like to see the most? Probably like Batman versus. I'd like to see Batman versus Iron Man, and this is why. And it's so funny. This has nothing to do with the Dolphins, but I do appreciate the question. You take Batman out of his suit, he's still Batman. You take Tony Stark out of his suit, he's Tony Stark. Tony Stark, yes, he can fight, but he's not. So I want to see them fight each other. I think Batman would win that one. Now we're going back to YouTube, and this one comes from Ethan. He says, "Who has the better arm, Dan Marino or Aaron Rodgers?" Dan Marino. Not saying Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a good arm, but Dan Marino has a better arm. Dan Marino is absolutely ridiculous. Dan Marino. Kay says, will we make the playoffs this season with the players we've acquired, and what must happen or take place in order for it to be a reality? I've said this time and time again. For the Miami Dolphins to be top-notch, playoff contending, playoff team, you have to have a top 5 offensive line, a top 5 defensive line. You got to be getting after the quarterback, and you have to be able to stop the run. You also have to be able to give the quarterback time, and you have to be able to run the ball. If the Miami Dolphins have a top 10, top 5 offense and defensive line, they will make the playoffs this year. I'm telling you that right now. But if they can't run the ball and they can't get after the quarterback and stop the run, they will not make the playoffs this year. This one comes from the Zard Hunter, and he says, who has the most rushing yards this upcoming season, Matt Breda or Jordan Howard? That's a good question. That's a very good question. I'm going to say Matt Breda. Just because he's going to bust off some long ones, whereas Jordan Howard, yes, I'm not saying he's not fast, but he's not as fast as Matt Breda. I think Matt Breda is going to have just a little bit more rushing yards, but I think Jordan Howard is also going to have a fantastic season for us. Kevin Parker asks, if Parker and Williams are both healthy, who do you think fits better with Tua in becoming his go-to wide receiver? I'd probably say Devontae Parker. The Parker is a very good 50-50 throw the ball up. He's going to grab it. But honestly, I think don't be surprised if it's Gesicki. And it just utilize the crap. Rookie quarterbacks love tight ends and that security blanket they have. So don't be surprised if it's Gesicki. This one comes from Khalib, and Khalib asks, who is your favorite Dolphin player right now? I love Jerome Baker. Love Xavier Howard. I love me some Tua Tagovailoa. I just love the kid's personality and how like humble the kid is. I'd have to say probably Jerome Baker, Xavier Howard, and my boy Vince Beagle. He made time out of his schedule to come on the channel. Vince Beagle is my answer. This one comes from Braves Sam, and he says, hey Dougley, more of a hypothetical question. If the Dolphins were to be able to grant you any job now, what would it be? YouTube, media, podcast coach, etc. Also, do you look up to someone like Travis Wingfield and his career path? Thanks for all the love. Thanks and love the channel. Yes. Travis is an absolutely awesome Miami Dolphin beat writer and now part of the Miami Dolphins organization. I started talking to Travis last year. The fact that he, followed me on Twitter as well as, obviously I'm following him, and reached out to me and talks to me and all that stuff. It was surprising and I loved it. Travis breaks down film and all that stuff. But if the Dolphins were to grant me one job, I'd like to be in the broadcast booth. I'd like to do gameplay and game by game analysis and stuff like that. But yeah, I would love to be right next to Travis doing some media, maybe being the Miami Dolphins YouTube guy. Like I'm the one that you see when you go on MiamiDolphins.com or Miami Dolphins YouTube channel. this guy. But yeah, probably that. But I'd also love to coach. I was going to be a high school coach. When fun fact, there's a little story for you guys. I was going to be a teacher before I got my degree in media, and I was going to be, try to be the high school football coach. When I got my teaching job, I was going to try to, go on, be assistant coach, and then eventually become a head coach, then become a college coach, and then try to be an NFL coach. I actually have a book right here. I wanted to be a football coach. So, yeah. Benjamin asks, Devontae Parker over under 1,202 yards. I'm going to say under. Because Preston Williams is going to do his thing. Gesicki's going to do his thing. They're all going to do his thing. I think him being that shining star got him those 1,202 yards. I think it'll probably be like 1,089. It's going to be under. Steve Nunez says, job? Now, are you asking if I have one? Are you asking, are you offering me a job? He's probably asking me what my job is. I work in media. So I am a media consultant for a realtor firm. Essentially, I shoot their properties, I edit it, I upload it, and do all that stuff. I am their media consultant while I'm going to school to get my realtor's license. So I can do this full time and then do that stuff on the side. So yeah, thanks for being interested in my job. This one comes from Anthony Acosta, and he says, how does it feel coming up in the Dolphins YouTube community from regular fan channel to basically a business where people buy your merchandise, request pictures with you at games? Awesome work and wish you the best with your new family. Fins up. I haven't met you guys yet, so no one has asked me for pictures. No one has, recognized me at the supermarket or walking down the street. I live in New Jersey. I don't even think if I lived in Florida, I'd get that. But no one has asked me for pictures yet. But I still see myself as a fan. I don't see myself better than anyone. I don't see myself up here. I just see myself as a fan that has a degree in this, so I can take my love of them and mix it with this and do all this stuff for you guys. But I love it. I absolutely love it. I wouldn't want to do this any other way. The fact that I found this when I did 2 years ago in 2018, hence the number, it makes me happy. You guys in this channel helped me get through a lot of tough things in life and wouldn't change it for the world, and I thank you for that. Let's get to some more questions because I'm going to start to cry. This one comes from the Real Boss Man 1. He says, although I'm a Colts fan, I really do like you guys and think you have the potential to make a Super Bowl push, make the playoffs. Can't talk. Super Bowl is pushing it considering the fact that you guys are still building, but with a better O-line and a better defense, you guys have a way better chance and great potential of the playoffs. Keep up the great work, Doug. Thank you, Colts fan. And yes, I agree. Like I said, if the Dolphins can have offense and defensive line, top 5, top 10, we're making the playoffs and pushing deep in the playoffs. And then when we add the pieces that we're just missing, if we are, we'll be in the Super Bowl. I'm saying within the next 3 years. Hey, you might call me optimistic. You might call me a delusional fan. Next 3 years, hopefully. Oh, please, jeez, I'd love to see a Super Bowl, please. This one comes to now. We're gonna end it off with Twitter. I'm gonna raffle off a bunch of Twitter questions. This one comes from Weak Path. He has 2 questions for me. One not Dolphin related. He says, "Why DouglieDoWrong? What's the story behind it?" My name is Doug. My friend was going to call me ugly. We were hanging out, and he was going to call me ugly, but he came out with Douglie because again, my name is Doug. And I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, you're trying to, make fun of me, and you came off sounding like an idiot. And then I sat back, and it reminded me of Dudley Do Right. And I was like, Douglie. Flip it. Douglie Do Wrong. And that's where the name came from. My friend trying to insult me ended up becoming this YouTube channel. And then he says, Dolphin related, we've been fed the narrative for the most of the 2000s. We are one player away, Sue, Wallace, etc. Even through free agency seemed a familiar sight of drafting Noah, and as example that we are now thinking 2+ years ahead. Yes, or is it more the same? No, you're 100% right. We've always thrown fat contracts at big star players thinking they're the ones who are going to push us over, and it never panned out. Whereas now the Miami Dolphins are going out and they're grabbing players with the potential to build with them to the potential that we know they're going to be good sustainably. Because that's what we want. We want sustained success. We don't want the flash in the pan. 2008, 2016. We want constant success. We're tired of this. So yeah, thanks for the comments, Weekpath. This one comes from Dylan. Dylan says, do you think the Dolphins will make any trades this season? Well, they already made the Adam Sheehan one. I don't think it'll be high numbered. They might trade some of our players. They might trade a Dolphin away, possibly, but I don't know if they'll grab players unless they're a young 4-5 year player potentially. But that's a good question though. Hope I answered it. Jim asks me, what's the goal for your channel? Doing for fun, monetization, a little of both? I love this question, Jim. I absolutely love it. A lot of people want to say, why are you doing this channel? For one, I made the channel because I love the Miami Dolphins. I love media, and this takes two of the things put together, but I already said that in a previous question. The other reason why I made this channel is because I live in New Jersey, and when the Dolphins beat a team, I always hear how the other team was bad. Never give Dolphins the credit, and they never talk about the Dolphins. So I made this channel to talk about the Dolphins for Dolphin fans that are tired of hearing the media. The other thing you're asking, for monetization, a little of both, doing fun. This is my passion. I love the team. I love media. So it's more of a passion for me. It does help that there is some type of income. But you guys need to realize something. The way YouTube works, it ain't a lot of money, if it is any money. So I just want you guys to know that. The amount of time and effort that me and other YouTubers put into this, and the amount of crap we have to deal with trolls and negative comments and people coming at us, people, it's not a lot of money. So don't think, oh, look, Doug put 5 videos out this week. He's probably making bank. Yeah, I wish you'd get 400 videos a week because I'm having a daughter. I'm buying a house. I need the money. But yes, no, this is all for, I do this because I love the team and I love media, and it puts best of the both worlds together. If I didn't love them so much, I wouldn't have them tattooed on my forearm. This one comes from Kelvin. He's a measurement of temperature. And he says, what is your starting front 7 in the base 3-4, and what is your starting in the front 6 and a nickel? It's a good question. I say 3-4, it's probably going to be on the outside. It's probably going to be, I'm going to say Wilkins. I think it's going to be Zyler, and I might take Gotcha and put him in the center. And then you got the 3-4. I'd probably have Vince Beagle on one side. I might have Kyle Van Noy on the other. I'm going to have Jerome Baker and Raekwon McMillan. And then a nickel set, I'm probably going to have Agba, Lawson on the outside. I'm going to keep Wilkins and Gotcha in the middle. Maybe intertwine one of them with Raekwon Davis. And for my 2 linebackers, I'm going to have Kyle Van Noy. I'm going to have Jerome Baker. There you go. Mr. Janus Pierre. Is it French? I apologize for that. With players opting out this year, is there an option to return during the season, or are they down for the year? I think they're down for the year. I think them opting out, there's no coming back. I think that you had, and that's why they set a deadline. That's it. You're out. You opt out for the year. That's it. Like if the Dolphins go on a tear and they go, 10-0, and Albert Wilson and Alan Hearn's like, hey, I want to come back. I want to play. I don't think that. No. But I may be wrong. Comment up below and let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't think they can come back. This one comes from Chad. Chad says, which Dolphins rookie or new player do you think has a breakout year? I honestly think that the guy who's going to really turn it up and have a breakout year is Christian Wilkins. I like his determination, and I like the additions they put on that defensive line. I think he's going to have a good year. Gesicki, I think, is also going to continue his success that he had towards the end of the year and light it up. This one comes from Jacob, and he says yes, meaning yes, he wants me to do this video. And I got one for you. Do you think the Dolphins will be 11-5, and do you think that linebacker Kyle Van Noy is going to help the Dolphins? I think Kyle Van Noy is going to help the Dolphins a lot more than outside people think he's going to. I think Kyle Van Noy is a very special player, especially watching him on the Patriots, what he can do and how he can help a defense. Yes, I think he will help a lot more than some of these outsiders, some of these naysayers think he will. And will the Dolphins be 11-5? I don't see why it's out of the realm of possibility, but I'm not predicting it, but anything can happen. This is the final one. This is the last question of the night, and this one comes from Boot Sniff, and he says, Fitz is no doubt starting this year. I wouldn't jump to that conclusion. Before Preston went down, Preston Williams was on pace to break some rookie records. So how can any team defend the back shoulder fade that Fitz can throw to DVP or Unicorn? They need 2 shutdowns. Haha, nobody has that except Miami Dolphins. I don't think it's a guarantee that Fitz is going to start. I think that the best quarterback will start, whether it's Rosen, Fitz, or Tua. Who that will be, we'll find out. But I honestly don't think it's a guaranteed stamp it. Fitz will start. Yes, he was with Chan Gailey for 5 years. This is their 6th. But again, I'm not assuming things. But your question is fantastic because Devontae Parker and Preston Williams, if Devontae Parker can have a continuing success that he did last year, and if Preston Williams can build off of what he was doing at the beginning of the season, geez Louise, you're going to have to put you're going to have to put each safety on both guys, and then you're going to leave either Jakeem Grant, Matt Cole, Kirk Merritt, or Gesicki wide open in the center of the field. It's going to be fantastic. Just got to hope that the quarterback gets enough time to throw the ball. I'm very nervous about this offensive line. I'm very nervous. But thank you guys so much for all the comments and all the questions. I do appreciate that. If you want me to do these more often, instead of like once every year or so, I will. Just let me know. I do greatly appreciate it. I started doing comment of the day in my videos because, for one, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day and time out of watching this video to comment below. So I want to show my gratitude by picking one of your awesome comments and doing comment of the day. So that's why I do comment of the day, and that's why I do these videos, to show you that I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch my 15, 20, 30-minute videos, the hour-long live streams. It means a lot to me. So thank you guys so very much. I might do another giveaway just because why not? I might do a start of the season giveaway. It's something very particular, so I don't know if everyone would want it, but I will talk about that in the next video. But that's the video. That's it. I answered your questions. And that's it. Get out of my house. No, I'm just kidding. I do appreciate you guys hanging out. Be sure to follow me on Twitter. That's where I got half of these questions from. That's where I am interactive the most. I'm obviously interactive here. I make videos for you guys, 4 or 5 times a week. But I'm very interactive there when I can't sit down and make a video for you guys. So be sure to check me out on Twitter, Fan to Fan Network. Sunday, August 16th, they're doing their premiere on Twitch. So I'm going to try to be on there for about 10 minutes. I'm going to do a little bit of an interview, but be sure to go over and follow them on Twitch. Also, fan2fannetwork.com is where you can find my content on there as well. DolphinsTalk.com is another site you can find my content on there. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. I have videos planned. I have a ton of videos planned. They keep having to get pushed because when news breaks, when press conferences happen, I want to get you guys that stuff because I think you guys are also interested in that. But I have a lot of videos planned, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Might be tomorrow, might be Tuesday. I don't know yet, but you know you'll get everything from me. But like usual, stay classy. Fins up.